What if I told you the front office just flipped the lights back on at Halas Hall and the rest of the NFC North hasn't even noticed yet? What if I said there's a move on the table, quiet, surgical, cold-blooded, that could turn this offense from promising to punishing overnight? I'm talking about the kind of shift that changes how defensive coordinators sleep, the kind of addition that makes a rookie quarterback look like a 5-year vet and tells the league, winter's coming, and it's wearing navy and orange. Breathe, Bears fans. Feel that? That's the rumble before the storm. This is Bears News Fan Report. Hit like right now, subscribe, and drop a big bear down in the comments so the algorithm knows what army runs the Midwest. No fluff, no fences, just straight talk from a fan who bleeds blue and orange. And listen, what I'm about to lay out is a mix of dots connecting, whispers getting louder, and football logic that's too sharp to ignore. We're going to ride this wave together, and by the end you'll see exactly why the temperature just spiked in Lake Forest. Start with the timing. Health arrows pointing up, practice tempo rising, a locker room that looks aligned instead of anxious, and a staff that's preaching accountability without panic. You can feel it in the way the vets are talking and in the way the young guys are listening. That's the foundation you need before you make a daring move. Stability first, then the strike. And right now, every signal says the foundation is finally firm enough to hold a headline. Add in the scheme, evolution. Motions with a purpose. Shifts that aren't window dressing but keys that turn the engine. Layers in the route tree that make life simple for the quarterback. ID the shell. Find the matchup, rip in rhythm. If you give this structure one more high-leverage option, someone who bends coverage on snap 1, you don't just get prettier box scores, you get easier football. 2nd and 5 becomes routine. 3rd and 2 becomes inevitable. Red zone. ISO stops being a wish and starts being a weapon. Now put on your GM cap. The cap math is tight but not strangling. The draft capital isn't bottomed out, and the clock on a rookie QB deal is ticking in your favor. That's when aggressive franchises buy proven production instead of hoping it falls into their lap. You don't swing wild, you swing smart. You target a skill set that multiplies everyone else. A chain mover on 1st down and a problem on 3rd, tough enough to win dirty and skilled enough to win pretty. You know exactly the archetype I'm hinting at. Feel the ripple on the defensive. Side 2. Add one apex piece to this offense, and the entire defense gets lighter. Shorter fields, fewer sudden change emergencies, more time to rest between series. Pass rushers get a half step quicker when they're protecting a lead. Corners get to jump routes when opponents chase. Complementary football isn't a cliche, it's a battery pack. One marquee addition up top powers every circuit in the building. Here's where it turns from warm to white-hot. The chatter isn't just national talking heads fishing for clicks. It's the quieter, smarter stuff. Agents asking about role clarity, trainers checking on facility schedules, analytics staff quietly studying how often 2 high shells flip to single high when a certain archetype lines up to the boundary. That's not maybe someday noise. That's we're close enough to do homework noise. And in the NFL, homework like that usually means a front office is sharpening a pencil, not doodling. So let's stop dancing around the campfire and step into the light. The prototype we're talking about, a big stage, big catch radius chain bully, wide out in his prime, who can win outside the numbers and over the middle, has a name. And yes, Bears fans, the smoke you're smelling might actually be coming from a real fire. Tee Higgins, say it out loud, and watch how the picture snaps into focus. On the field, he's the missing lever. He forces safeties to respect the boundary. Fade and the deep dig, he wins slants with grown man frames, and he's a bully in the red zone. Off the field, his profile is perfect for a quarterback still installing his encyclopedia of answers, big catch radius, trust on 50-50s that turn into 70-30s, calm routes on money downs. Put him on the same grass as our speed, our multi-purpose, backs, and our ascending young talent, and suddenly every coverage has a wrong answer baked in. Now imagine the first 15 scripted plays with him in the huddle. Motion to identify man or zone. If it's man, isolate him weak side and let your QB play high-low off the flat defender. If it's zone, push him through the window behind the linebacker and throw on time. First red zone trip, bunch stack, rub to the back pylon, back shoulder if the corner overplays. 3rd and 7, boundary comeback at the sticks. He boxes out like a power forward and plays through contact. You can call those in your sleep because he's that kind of receiver. He turns play calls into probabilities. What about everyone else? That's the beauty. Nobody gets squeezed. Everybody gets freer. Your WR1 who lives on timing routes suddenly sees softer brackets. Your rookie playmaker gets more free grass on crossers and overs because the post safety's eyes are glued to the boundary. Your tight end eats against nickel personnel who don't have the length to fight him. Your backs see lighter boxes, your screens get a convoy, and your QB stops feeling like he has to be perfect on every throw. A real WR1B turns the offense from make a play into take what's there, and what's there becomes a buffet. Let's get grown up about cost. Yes, it takes picks. Yes, it takes a contract that respects star production. But that's why you build the roster clean, so when the right player is there, you act. The question isn't, can the Bears afford Tee Higgins? The question is, can the Bears afford to leave their rookie quarterback without a bully ball insurance policy in October and November? You pay now to save later. On stalled drives, on defense stuck in a blender, on a young passer forced into hero ball. This is how you buy stability. And don't overlook the culture fit. Higgins isn't a highlight merchant who disappears when the weather gets ugly. He's a January player. He wins when the game slows down, the windows shrink, and every snap is a blood pressure test. That's the identity we're building. Hard-nosed, detail-driven, explosive when you blink. Drop that temperament into a room that's already humming, and you get something rare, swagger that's earned, not faked. Could it fall apart? Sure. The market can get weird, a rival can overpay, or the timeline can drift. That's the NFL. But the reason this speculation has teeth is because it aligns with logic, need, and window. You don't chase shiny, you chase fit. And this fit hums. It hums on first down and it roars on third. It hums in September and it roars in January. It hums in the meeting room and it roars on the logo at midfield. So, here's where I land. As a fan who's watched too many almosts melt into maybes. Push the chips in if the price stays sane. Give your quarterback a skyscraper who steals possessions. Give your OC the lever that flips coverage math. Give your defense the gift of playing from in front. And give this city something it hasn't had in a long time, a passing game that scares people without needing asterisks. Drop your trade packages in the comments. Tell me how you'd structure the deal, who you'd protect, how you'd stagger the cap. And be honest, if the final number gets silly, would you pivot or press? I want the truth from the people who care the most. Because for all the smoke and noise, one thing is crystal clear. The Bears aren't here to hope the North stays open. They're here to kick the door off the hinges. Until it's official, this is speculation. Ambitious, electrifying, and, yeah, exactly the kind of move I want. This is Bears News Fan Report. Like, subscribe, bear down, and buckle up. If the phone rings and the stars align, Chicago's about to get loud.